talk with Heron, a huge supporter of independent artists globally. Let's show some artist appreciation by subscribing to his YouTube channel or other social media.
Wait, how do I find it?
Yeah, YouTube on your TV.
Real Talk with Heron? Oh my god, he's doing YouTube.
Die Aufzeichnung wurde gestoppt.
Thank you, honey, and I had a fun time. And I tell him I like to get that link too of when he's done of one we all three did.
Okay, he just heard you. I love you too.
Okay, love you.
Okay, bye. Okay, he had to go because he had to do some music, but we're on.
Melinda, I think,
Technology is very interesting.
yeah, but sometimes I think so it's not really, it's sometimes heavy when something going weird, you know what I mean, then it's really, that's why I try to.
Well, it's really interesting because it's interesting the censorship that goes on, right? And like everybody has to do like these code words, and it's like crap because when I was dealing with the tribunals, as soon as we walk in the FBI building, the feds all throw away their masks, so it's crap.
Okay. Yeah. It's just that is what I mean. You got the technique, and everybody can spy and watch where the people's at. Everybody is only a number, like in Matrix. You know what I mean?
It's always been that way. Because they had videos from way back in the 70s of some of these hardcore pedophiles. So they've always been doing that.
Yeah.
It's not just now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're from Germany. The Nazis been doing that for crazy amounts of time.
Yeah, exactly. So then I can run here something. Wait.
Awesome. Very healthy. That's amazing. Oh, that's some good music. That's amazing.
I can send you a link from yesterday, and then you can connect also.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. You like it?
Right there. That's amazing.
You like that?
Yeah, that dirty beat that she does right there. It's a really amazing beat, You gotta like flip it, loop it, and do like all this kind of stuff at the same time.
So I go with the phone.
Wow. That might have been my Russian days. Nice. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. I can dance all night long.
Okay. Yeah. This is DJ Bell here from Berlin, Germany.
Annabelle. She's from Berlin, Germany. That's
Berlin, Germany, and I try to. Yeah, I sent you a link here in the messenger from her, from the last event, and then you can check this out. It's 1 hour, and when you like this music, then you will enjoy this like this here.
Yeah, that's pretty deep dance.
There's no fire.
Yeah.
There's no fire. Passion.
Yeah, her diversity. You can tell her diversity and many influences her music.
Wait. What you asked? What you asked?
Oh no, it's amazing hearing her diversity. Like you know that she has been through a lot of diverse musics, right? Like she has influences for many different forms of music because she brings it all together and it's like a storyboard with her music, right? And so she has a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There's some jazz, there's some blues, there's some discotheque, there's some, some old folk music. It's like really cool the way she blends it all together.
Yeah, I will send you then a link. I can do this now or maybe now or soon. I will send you the link.
Absolutely.
And I will also send you her Facebook profile, and then you can connect with her?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Melinda. For me, it was also really awesome to talking to a really strong woman. Yeah, I heard your story in the interview, and now, yeah, heard more from you, and also with the Silvio, the story that you also guided him a little bit in his life in the right direction. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he has so much to share with the world, but there's a lot of really interesting dynamics going on right now, and sometimes the way to sometimes it's not like people intend to, but because they don't want to deal with ignorance and they don't want to deal with stupid attitudes of people, right? They just kind of go into their shell and create their own little world, right?
Yeah.
And like that's not why we were created and given the gift to share with people, right? And we were given the gift to share and inspire people. So, I understand, if people come to me and talk to me about COVID, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, and people are like, you have to get the jab. And I'm like, whatever, dude, I'm not taking the operating system, get out of my face. And they're like, well, you can't work here. Well, good. I don't need to work here. God will provide better. Right. And so, but I've had enough stuff go on in my life to know I can flip the script. Right. Sometimes you got to tell people, like I just told Decidio, like people need to hear your voice. People need to hear you. And they need to hear the inspiration from you because there's lots of people out there that are waiting to hear inspiration. And if you don't speak it, then how are they going to hear it?
Yeah.
Right. And whether, no matter where we are in the world, there are a lot of things that are saying, don't do this, don't do this. Oh, you're not this. Oh, you're not that. Well, you know what? Of course I'm not that. I'm me. God didn't give you guys my purpose. He gave me my purpose, right? So he will give me everything I need to do to go through that purpose. But sometimes I have to step up and, a closed mouth never gets fed, right?
No,
I have to be willing to step up and say something.
No, especially in the Silvio's, way. You are right. He was down, and you helped him out of such a thing because you also go into hard times. That's why, and also the thing is. Some people don't think about other people's. They only think and focus on themselves and walk into the life without any kind of feeling for other people's. You know what I mean? As
Yeah,
cold, or the stone cold,
yeah,
the heart.
narcissistic for
Uh,
sure. Yeah,
yeah, and that's why that makes you also greater to think about other people's, not to say, "Oh, I can walk alone on my way. I don't must not care about other people's, and especially also deceive you, but you care about him. Say you must be hurt, and that makes a person
absolutely.
great. Yeah, makes for me a person great because you can grow alone, but when you take some other people with you, that's
Together we make it, alone we die.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
No matter where we at in the world, right? And I know, yeah, he may be different colored from me and everything, but being here in California and being a woman and being mixed ethnicity has been a very interesting thing for me because when I first moved here to California and I saw what the African Americans were going through, I was like, this is not what African Americans about. Like, I'm used to the Africans. I'm used to the European Africans, right? That
Okay.
mingle with the Europeans and they have a little bit more class and understanding. And so when I met Decivio, I was like thankful, right? Because he was a real cat. And then when we started working together, it was interesting because I had to bring in some of that protection, like, wait a minute, like, no, you're here for the gift and it's not about race, it's not about color, it's not about anything, it's about sharing your message out and you have a platform to do that, right?
Yeah.
So taking advantage of that platform and understanding what that really means. And see, a lot of people don't know that. Like he said, he was using his phone and using the medias, here in California, they keep people in certain areas a certain way,
Okay.
right? And they don't give them the proper information to get out and do better things, right? They
Okay.
keep them in that segregation, right? And because they make money off that segregation,
Yeah.
the elite and the power people that or think they run the Congress or whatever.
Okay.
And so what was amazing is like we were in the studio one day and I'm like, no, you can do this, and try this, right? And he's like, I didn't even know you could do that. And then now I know he was like, he did a recent video where he was like killing the demon, right? Killing the Godzilla, and he was actually punching
Yeah,
him in the
yeah,
face.
yeah. I seen this, and,
And
and also an airplane flew away.
yeah, and how and also like how he had the car and it flew away,
Yeah,
right?
with
Like
the
a
car,
space
with the
ship.
car, with the car. Yeah, with the car. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's amazing because that's new technology,
yeah,
right? But it's like I told him like you got to get up wise about what's going on because you can use all kinds of things, right?
yeah, exactly.
And the media is going social AI is going so fast, you got to kind of keep up with it. So you got to stay on point and stay sharp and eat right and live right and be the best you can at all times because that's what God requires of us. Doesn't
Okay,
mean we won't get down, doesn't
okay.
mean we don't have emotion. It doesn't mean that we don't, but life isn't run by those emotions. Our life is run by our purpose that we are here for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then a question because you can make a difference between it or compare this to
Yeah.
another. Is this you've been in Europe?
Yeah. All over.
Yeah,
All
and
over.
Europe to United States. What can you say? What not better, but something is good there, something is not. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, for instance, okay. So as Europeans, we have tea time. As ladies, we get tea time at 3. The young boys go with the men, the young girls go with the women, and we understand our place in society. No matter if it's hard, we understand what our place is, right? Even if there's not a lot of homelessness in Europe, right?
Yeah,
There's not a
yeah.
lot of this kind of thing because we understand that we are all part of a community, right? And if we allowed someone to do that, then end up homeless, and we were not taking care of our community and our people, right? And I also understood like there might be someone who is Like there might be someone who is a shoe family, right? They make nothing but shoes. There
Yeah.
might be another person who is like a chef family, right?
Yeah.
And you go down in the villages, right? And it's like that family is known to have the best restaurants in the world. So where does our family go? We go to the best restaurants and they buy our shoes, and we go to the other family for clothes, and we go for, and it's the community that builds the community. So if we were to allow someone to go homeless, then we've forsaken ourselves, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's something that's really sad because, like, right now, they're rounding up the homeless and taking them to FEMA camps, and they're
No.
exterminating of them,
No.
and they're all going away. And they're saying, "Oh, well, we're buying these. You know how much money has gone into homelessness and getting them off the streets. And you know who is taking it all is Governor Newsom and the Congress of California. They're all taking it, and the politicians that are dirty, and saying, "Oh, we're going to do something," and they're not doing nothing but killing them. We got rid of the problem. Let's kill them. And it's really sad.
Yeah, yeah. That means that I know this in the United States that the social system is really small. Between
really small.
Europe. Yeah.
I mean, even in communism. I mean, look, I have this. I've had that since I was a little girl.
Okay. Okay.
And this is Mother Russia, right?
Okay.
And like, when I came to the States, I came under asylum of the Communist Party and, fleeing from, the fall of communism. And like a lot of us Europeans did at that time, right? And, I was shocked that even in communism, there wasn't any homelessness,
Yeah, but I think sometimes they're cleaning up the streets. You know what I mean? That they're pushing them also to the outskirts from the cities. They're outside and they're, yeah, you know what I
Right.
mean? Not in the in the middle of the
But they
city.
would still take care of them. They would still kind of take care of them and make sure they're okay, But they didn't. So it's different here in America. There's not enough value for life. There's more of value of what can you bring to us for us to use. And if you have a good enough skill, we'll use you and we'll pay you for it. Maybe not what you're worth, but we'll pay you for it, and then we'll get rid of you when we're done with you. And that's something I've really seen also.
Okay.
Because in Europe, there's a lineage of our family bloodline, right? There's like, this is so and so's family. So and so comes from this family. So they have a lineage that precedes them, right?
Yeah.
And so here in America, though, there are people with no names. You can find someone on Skid Row, and
No,
you
this
don't know
can't
who
be.
the hell they are.
This
I
can't.
mean, right now, I've been working with the courts, with the federal agency, to go back to my biological name, because when they kidnapped me and sold me into slavery, they changed my name from my biological name. And they never thought I would go back and want my name back, but I filed in courts to get my biological name back. And so they had to make a court order to give me my name back. The DNB and the city courts don't want to deal with it. So the federal agency and the federal government had to do a court order just for me to have my biological name.
Okay.
Because that's how crazy it is. Our straw man,
Yeah.
And everybody here in America, if you have a birth certificate and a social security card, you were sold and bought by the Queen of England. She no longer is in standing. She is a false cornerstone. She's a reptile. It was a false royalty. They have nothing to do with anything other than the reptile nation.
Okay.
I know that's some crazy stuff, but that's real.
Yeah. This is your opinion. No, I thought about also some things. The most people see in Europe, they want to go to the land of the free and have this is the land with any you can. There's no limit there, and you can go there from a dish cleaner going to a millionaire and something like the dreams from any kind of people say I heard there when I go to United States I get everything, there's gold on the streets, but yeah, not really.
They say that, but in reality, like in Europe, right, they don't have tax on clothes, food, and schooling, right? So you can go to school and they don't tax you on those things.
Yeah.
But here in America, they
Yeah.
tax you on everything. You know,
Yeah.
I remember my mother having olive presses and vineyards in France, right? And hundreds of acres of these kind of things in Provence and so forth. And it was beautiful and it was wonderful. But you know what? You do that here in America, you might have to fight Bill Gates for your land.
Okay. But what is why Bill Gates?
The devil's he's a devil's man. That's
Okay.
all I know. Hmm.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, for me, I never met him by myself. I heard some stories about him, but in your case, uh, why he owned land? That's why I'm really
Well, he is a very smart man.
okay.
So, like for instance, why is McDonald's so successful?
Yeah, okay, okay. This is
Not because they do a great burger, but because they have real estate, right? And real
yeah,
estate is gold.
yeah,
If
yeah,
people want to know where's the gold and silver, go real estate, go
yeah,
land.
yeah, yeah,
And what
exactly.
they've done with Monsanto and his Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation
Yeah,
is they've actually bought out a lot. Like Nancy Pelosi's grandson is actually not grandson, nephew is Governor Newsom, and our part in tied in with Merrick, who is a big her husband is
okay,
part of with Merrick and owns Merrick Pharmaceuticals. So they do a lot of stuff and is funded with all that, right? So when they go and take over land for farming, they're thinking about real estate, owning real estate to protect their investments so that they can continue doing more of what they're doing, right? Which is really crazy, when they're making those pharmaceuticals and jab, they're putting diseases left and right. Anyone who had a jab globally is going to die within 3 to 2 years because they don't have to put you under a guillotine because they put so many diseases inside of you. They have a kill switch to activate it.
oh
So
no,
they can just put that kill switch whenever they want and do
okay.
mass genocide.
That's
After World War II,
yeah,
all the Jews got together and said there will never be another Holocaust. Where all the Jews say no more we need to stand up and say no more genocide because, this is a complete takeover of humanity. And if we don't realize what's happening, then we're going to end up going and there's not going to be another humanity, you know?
yeah. That's why I'm really yeah. I don't really like the new technique. That's why we talk about. Maybe the technique will take over the humanity, the humankind.
Well, AI's already be doing like they've been making, robots that have feelings, emotions, can communicate with you and actually like, understand what you mean and actually be predictable in how they communicate with you,
Yeah.
consciously, which is really crazy. But, if we go back to the 80s and we were dealing with, like they did what is that show where it was a computer that wouldn't let the guy into his
Max Headroom.
yeah. And right? And and I remember that way back in the day and everybody just thought it was funny, right? And like computer love, where
Yeah.
people are actually going and having computer love. Well, what is computer love? That's actually like suggestive programming of what was going to be happening in the 90s, right? That's all that's going on is where the AI is saying it's more intelligent than the brain, but the absolute creator created our brain in such a magnificent way that it was far more greater than any computer that can ever be created. It
Okay.
could repair our body. The only thing with this jab is it can't repair our DNA. It destroys our DNA. It destroys the mitochondria so that we have no way of understanding how to get back to our original self.
Oh damn. No, I thought about like crazy things like James Cameron movies, Skynet, and
Yeah.
something like that. That is in my mind, but I think not really. Maybe yeah, they think about they underestimated the technique, and then something going wrong, and yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like Hollywood puts it right in our face, right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of people are like, no, that's in the movies. And so people don't believe it's real. But, it's like the same thing. If I submit a paper, 75-page paper to all the Masons in the world and to all the authorities of the world of what I'm going to do, my job is to eliminate hunger and sex slavery off the face of the world. That is my mission, right? And when I say hunger, I mean in every form.
Yeah.
And so when I do that, I come in love, not with the ledger over people's head, right? I come in love because I love humanity and I believe in the human spirit and I believe that we are created for greatness and that we were created to do anything and that all these distractions and all these things that come, they're just distractions. We need to rise up above like an eagle and soar above them. And an eagle goes up above the storm to understand how he's going to deal with the storm,
Okay.
right? So we need to be aware of these things and not be afraid of what they bring to us. Because when you stand in your own, what can they do to you? They really can't do anything. It's like, keep my damn license. And I get the code that's like the only reason people need license in America is because of transporting at the ports, like
Okay.
in San Pedro and Long Beach and, some of the military stuff. They have to have a license to transport, but it's a scam to have a DMV, and then all our taxes are going to the Queen of England. Well,
Okay.
supposed Queen of England. And that's not even real either because that's a whole other country.
Still, you are under the control from the British Empire.
No, I'm sovereign. I'm sovereign. I have everything sovereign. My
No, 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 no,
business,
no, 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 no. I don't mean you. You said talk about the United States.
Yeah.
It's under the control
yes,
of
the
United
United States.
and they pay taxes to still to the Queen of
A
England.
lot of people will keep paying because they've been told that, like some properties here in California,
Yeah.
when you buy that property, you also have to pay the land taxes, right? So you have to do two payments instead of one payment. So sometimes people think it's a great deal when you get a property for a restaurant and you pay one payment for it, right? Because the property taxes are in that payment. No, it's such a freaking scam. You're stealing from people. They can't even get ahead up because even if they had $5 million sitting around to invest in a restaurant just for insurance policies, everything else is going in to keep the mortgage going,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then the prices are going up with the food and everything on top of that because they're saying, oh, there's a food shortage. Well, no, they're destroying the food shortage. That's why Bill Gates is buying land so he can control the food
Yeah.
shortage, right? You control the food, you control the water, you control everything.
Yeah, of course.
Then you control the people because people don't want to starve, want to die of thirst. People don't want to die without work. People don't want to do that, But I have a way to bring back the original source where the Native Americans use, and when I say Native Americans, I mean
Yeah.
natives across the world, right?
Yes. Yes.
Natives of the
Sounds
land.
good.
Natives of the land were, back in the day before all this corruption really came on, they literally used hemp. They used hemp as a form of trade and they made everything out of it and they made of the land and they made, less processed stuff. There was no processed stuff other than processing the hemp,
Yeah. Yeah.
big
Exactly.
stuff. So
They
it's
got
really important.
closes from hemp and for shipping of I think a lot of things they grown from hemp and also hemp is grown really fast than the
Yes,
tree.
absolutely.
The
Yeah,
the the,
it
the
is
tree
very strong.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
the tree will die and will grow maybe after 20 years 30 years and then you can go on and crush him again. But yeah,
Yeah, because there are just some things, there's just so much to it, I have a group of people that I work with and we're working on taking over in a good way and give back land and make sure they're safe and make sure that they have a way to overcome, right? And that means understanding proper education. What is proper education? We have to unlearn the things that they've taught us in order to go back to what we really know in our currency. And every cell of our body speaks the truth of who we are and what we are
okay.
and how we come into the system, right? Here, people are like, well, if I just get a good job with this company, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But you can never have peace of 401k, right? You can never have that. That's a scam. And then if you say, I want my 401k out, you're penalized 70% to get it out. And what does that do? You worked all those years for it and you don't even get retired. So you become stupefied, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
what?
It's
My
not.
whole life is in this, you know?
It's a slavery.
Yes.
Sounds like a slavery for me.
It is slavery.
Yeah.
So I've been helping educate people to get out of slavery, sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally, in all ways. Because when we realize that we have been set free under our slaves and that we've been believing a lie, it's really powerful. And I'll tell you, in the Illuminati creeds, they talk about when they find out what they've done to us, what we've done to them, they will hunt us down and we will have no place to hide. That is like the 75th Illuminati Creed. Okay. And I'll tell you, the Illuminati creeds were given by the fallen to the elite to enforce on this world and know how they wanted this third dimension to be, right? And that was way down many, many years back when they were originally established. And, you know, they take the fallen, and the fallen have nothing to do but to go against the Almighty who created all of us. And a lot of people freak out about this religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the fact, like, okay, I don't tell that ocean to make those waves,
No,
right?
no. The
I don't
ocean.
tell the gravity. I don't tell gravity to do it. I don't
Yeah.
do any of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
It does it because it understands its purpose, because there's an intelligent understanding amongst every level of cells in there, right? Even the salt purification, like it holds salt. Like, how does it know to keep that much salt, right?
Okay.
And it just like, it's just a great example of like how great our absolute creator created things in its own way. No one can defile the ocean. You can try to go in there and say, I'm in charge of this ocean. What's it going to do? It's going to have a wave crash you down. Right?
Yeah. No. I think so also, but I think so when I heard you, you cannot really believe in any kind of human life form outer space.
I do believe in terrestrials.
Okay.
It is not outer space. It is actually under the firmament, the celestial realms, and then the underground realms, the terrestrial realms. And in all the ancient types, and you know, there's actually more books that were taken out of the Holy Scriptures, and then it was manipulated. So when you read original scriptures, it actually communicates about the firmament. It communicates about, you know, the fallen, the ones that were cast out of heaven and the celestial realms, and what they do. And when the flood happened, the mass flood that came across the earth, which are documentation of all over the world about it, the Nephilim, when the fallen bred, the Rahi bred with the daughters of men, which is pedophilia, okay? When they bred with the daughters of men, they actually created Nephilim. So they were having part God, part angel, and part human creatures, right? And these creatures were going all over the place and the whole world. And there's actually a statement where the absolute creator was sorry that he created man because of what had happened amongst the, and that was the only reason why was because the abomination that had happened because of the mixing with the angels.
Okay.
So once that was done, the terrestrials are actually the from the flood. They're only allowed to wander.
Oh, okay, but I heard I don't read the Bible by myself. I will say in this something about the fallen is the first angel is Gabriel.
Lucifer.
Lucifer. Gabriel is but also one of this.
Yeah, Gabriel is an archangel. Gabriel was an archangel.
Okay.
And they're in the celestial realm. There were over 160,000 angels.
Okay.
And did you hear that?
No. But I heard about Gabriel, Lucifer also, and I thought about Gabriel was really important in any kind of things. But
so Gabriel was really important because he taught us about weaponry. right? So, that's also something else too. It's there's a lot not clear things about this. So we want to go back to the curse of Herman, right? And the curse of they're like, you're cursing everyone, Herman. No, it's like, no, the curse of Herman was actually a mountain when Enoch, who was Noah's grandfather, right,
Okay.
went to Abba Father because he walked with God. Like Adam and Eve used to walk in the garden with God, where they were all knowing, right? And so forth. So Enoch walked with God and he asked, what do I do about these heinous things that are going on, right? And he said, just put them on the mount and I will curse them. And that didn't work,
Uh-huh.
right? So Enoch went up with God and Noah dealt with them. But there's over 160,000 celestial soldiers up there, and a third of the heavens came down.
Okay.
Okay.
But Noah is the builder or the founder of the ark.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That then I get it. Okay. No,
Yes. Absolutely.
for me, I would say I'm not religious. I can say that is so, but
I'm not religious either, but being Arabic and Russian, I
yeah,
gotta tell you, it's important to understand our beginnings. It's important to understand our tribal civilizations. Important to understand where it all came from because all of us come from 24 tribes, whether we want to hear it or not.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
We all came and we were all created out of the dust. We all are made out of rare earth elements. In our body is made out of water. Our body has dirt in it. So, to destroy the earth is destroying us,
yeah,
right?
yes,
And if we're not drinking enough water, we're not getting nourishment either, because that's important for our second circulatory system, which is our lymphatic system. That's important for purification of our blood. That's important for the electricity of our neurosynaptic relays, right? And then we eat fruit of the earth, like pineapple, which gives us lacum, which is a nourishment to keep lubrication of our brain,
okay,
and the electricity, and all these kind of things. Like it's so important to understand where our roots come from and what these people, these heinous people, have been doing all over the world that are all together, doing this. And it's only in a few, by the way. It's really amazing to me how a few can run a billions and billions and billions of people, right?
yeah. That is how they can do this is maybe
It's called mind control. It's called suggestive programming. It's called mind control.
yeah,
And it's also the fact that, they got people like, let's say, the great grandfather of so and so was a shoemaker, for example, shoes, okay?
yeah,
So they got the shoemaker, right? So they already projected that the great great grandson would be the best shoemaker in the world, like the golden child, right? So they build everything up according to that because they have a place in with the lead and still, making sure that they were able to have goodness when these things would start happening. But what's happening is that people are awakening to the mind control and people are saying no. And yeah, it's really hard at first. And you will have people mad at you and you will have people talk crap about you. I don't give a damn. I'd rather speak the truth and be free, because what can your words do to me when I'm free? Right? They're slaves. They're, and if it is really important to understand. Like
yeah,
I don't get that strength just because I was willing to stand. I get that strength because I meditate daily and I meet God daily. And
yeah. I got you, and also I think you can stay alone for a while, and the most people they cannot stay alone. That's why they must be a part of a group, and then you are, yeah, you're in any kind of form manipulated. I think so, a little
Yeah,
bit.
because you know what? I know that I've been given everything within, right?
Yeah.
And the questions I can ask questions and things will happen. Like for instance, when I was Decevio's manager, I was actually homeless because
Okay.
I just went through a serious thing with my ex-husband, right? And so I was homeless and everything. But you know what? Because I knew my circumstances were not me, because I knew who I was, I knew it was only temporal.
Yeah.
So I would get up and go to work every day. You know, they didn't know I was homeless because my bosses did, but I would go to work every day, be there at the restaurant 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, do work in the kitchen all day long as a chef. You know, this is me as a chef, you know, and then I would leave, you know, and, you know, every now and then someone say, hey, you can sleep in my car or, you know, you can be, but I wasn't homeless because of circumstances that were out of my control to not have a place to belong. And it really blew me away the dichotomy of having a 5-star job, right? And then having to end up in that situation, you know, and people just not caring and not wanting to be a part of anything.
Yeah, that is the saddest thing. The people they're watching, looking in your face, and you need that help, but they don't want to respond. Yeah,
I got to the point that are like, you know what? I don't need your help. God gives me everything I need. And they're like, no, we don't believe you. So I said, okay, I don't care if you believe me. You know, just because you don't believe me doesn't mean it's not real. You know, and then boom, God gave me a Lexus, right? An RX 350. And you know what? And they said, how the hell did you get that? And I said, because my credit was awesome. And they're like, well, why didn't you do that before? And I said, because I didn't know what I didn't know. Someone suggested that God gave me favor. A pastor friend of mine, right, who's a beautiful woman, she said, you know, God's gonna bless you. You need to go trust and see what you can do. I went, I only had $1,000 in debt, right? Because I'd been working on clearing stuff up since cancer and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I only had $1,000 in debt. I paid that off and I got a Lexus RX 350 paid off and everything. And I showed up to a meeting. They're like, where the hell did you get this? I'm like, it's my car, title and all. They're like, what? I said, why didn't you lease it? It's cheaper. And I said, no, I don't do that. That's a scam, you know? Yeah. And so they were like, God, you're really weird, right? So me and my dogs lived in my car and
Okay.
made sure that everything, you know, and I went to, you know, and I had a gym membership. I would go take a shower, work out and everything because you got to keep your mind straight. You got to keep your body strong. You got to, you know, keep what's real. What are the essential needs that a human being is? You know, you can have people around you, but if they don't have God, then what do you have? Nothing but demons, right?
Yeah, of course. The most people's not really, yeah, in the mind that they're laughing in your face, and the nice, track, smiling faces don't, smiling faces tell lies, sometimes tell lies, and so, you know, this is,
Absolutely.
yeah,
It's like, you know, the gentleman that when you called me that couldn't believe there was sex slavery going on in this world. I'm sure now, since we've talked with that gentleman that you called me with that one time, that was just, there's no way, you know, there's no way this sex slavery crap is real. You know, now he probably seen it globally, like, what the hell, right? This is really real, you know?
shit, yeah,
And
this,
but it's like how many people go buy a prostitute on a regular basis, or they go to a discotheque club and they hang out with someone who they know was a prostitute, right? Just to get theirs, you
okay,
know? And it's like the integrity of the human being, right? So when these elite are taking over and people aren't speaking the truth about things, they're winning because there's antimatter and matter. And when we're not believing that we're truth, we're going with antimatter. And that antimatter is more volatile than 6 atomic bombs,
okay.
right?
I
But if
heard,
we say the truth, it's more powerful than any atomic bomb.
yeah, okay, yeah, that is right, that is right. Yeah, sister, no, this is really heavy and yeah, truth words spoken from you, and yeah, what can I tell you? That is the world and that we live in, and people's dying at the moment when we're talking, and for food at first, and then second for civil war, people's dying in Africa.
Yeah, they're paying people to take the jab right now. We're gonna say jab, so we're not censored.
Hmm.
But I gotta tell you, you know, when I was in the tribunals testifying against these people that had done heinous things to me, first of all, I was shocked how bad they had the videos. Okay, they said that, oh, they just have regular videos now, right? Um, like they just have how would you say? Like they just got the videos now, right? No, they've had them since the 40s,
Okay.
videotaping everybody. But that was something. But what's really crazy and what was, I can deal with pedophiles because they're pedophiles, they're evil people, blah, blah, blah. But, and when I say that, it was like, we know they're evil, so they're going to be doing evil things.
Yeah.
But the ones that were really painful were the pastors, the
Yeah.
people who claim to be men of God, these mega churches and everything who have tunnels in their churches trafficking children. And they have people there that are the scouts, that are the handlers, and they protect the pastors. So I spoke against some of these pastors like Rick Warren, all of Calvary Chapel, Skip Heiser, Chuck Smith, especially in Costa Mesa and Orange County. They're all devil worshippers and they go and brutalize the kids on a boat near Mexico. It's crap. And these people are strong in sobriety. They have multi-level years of sobriety. And on the outside, they look like they're such great people, right? But they're heinous. And I had to testify against some of these people. And it was really heartbreaking for me because these are the times that we live in
Yeah.
where, but it didn't change my faith, right? Because my faith in man, my faith is in Almighty, the absolute creator, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, no, you're safe, but yeah, that is especially when I heard about small kids, and then some old pastors involved and the kind of stuff. This is going really too deep for me to believe in that, but yeah, there is
It's
something.
heavy. It
Yeah,
is. It is so true. And they do the African American kids mostly. They do all kinds of kids, but the African American they really go through. That's why the Clinton Foundation killed the president of Haiti because the tunnels were shut down. Okay, the tunnels were shut down. Thank God for Trump for being willing to do that because he doesn't care about what the elite do. He cares about getting it done.
okay.
And protecting the children, and that's why I stand with him. And so he stood up to the Clintons and did the tunnels, and that's why they cleared the president because the president was getting ready to narc on the fact that the Clinton Foundation has owned Haiti since back to Watergate, which Hillary Clinton is what I named her. Um, she actually has been she was Prescott Bush's secretary in the White House back then and JFK was probably one of her first murders. There's word about that, right, amongst the feds and people and authority. So she's been up to no good for a very long time with this adrenochrome stuff and everything. And so they killed the president and the wife. And, the wife didn't die, but she's very terrified right now, the Clintons. And I'll tell you, 2 days before that, I had to testify against Bill Clinton, and they threw a hit out on me, and they tried to run me off the freeway, and the authorities arrested the people on the 101 freeway, and my car's still dinged up from it, but I don't care. It's just a car. I
Yeah.
got to live. And I'm not scared of them. Screw them. I told them they should have killed me when they had the chance in court.
Oh, oh, sister, this is kind of stuff I cannot really, yeah, feel in this. I not really believe in this. Also, this happened to you, there, yeah,
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, right now there's authorities outside my house making sure that everything's safe, that I'm protected,
oh,
and I'm kind of like a prisoner right now because I have to play it safe, right? And if they're going to help me, I got to be cool with them. But I make sure they're not parasitical authorities too that work for them.
yeah,
So I go out and I say, hi, how are you? You guys want some coffee, tea, anything, and I look at their eyes because I follow the people with the light in their eyes, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And this has been going on for many years. But what I do want to do is make sure that people know that there is a way out and it's finding your truth, not selling your mind, your gifts, your talents, your body, your soul. It's nothing's for sale. We've been given everything we need.
No, you coming strong out of this and still, yeah. blessed. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful,
Yeah.
Melinda. Yeah, then maybe we can uh, quit this for today.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
was really nice to talk with you also personal again the second time, and yeah, really nice. Maybe we hear us or see us again and talk
Yeah,
about some.
absolutely. I would love to. I shared music with you that we just recently did with Barry and Derek, and I sent the music to you, and I would love for you to listen to it
Yeah.
because it's really important because, Barry's had all the influences of Motown.
Oh.
His dad's Smokey Robinson. So he literally, was his family helped establish Motown.
Oh.
So there's a lot of history there and everything. But, the most amazing thing is like we have the studio in our living room, because, he's been finding his own way and to be able to encourage him to have his own way because he's been making music forever, but to
Okay.
get the courage to actually put it out there, in an incredible way because his dad does music in such an incredible way, but he didn't believe he could do it himself. And he's so amazing at what he does,
Yeah.
It may
Y-
be different, but he's so amazing.
you can send me this in my messenger, Facebook
I
messenger.
already did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you sent it now or before?
I sent it before, but I can
But
resend it.
I think I comment this also. I watch this. I think so. Then when you sent this before, I comment this by
It was
myself.
the Love Revolution. It was the Love Revolution because that's what he's calling it, the Love Revolution. We
Okay.
put an EP out with Love Revolution with 4 songs. It's on iTunes and all over the place.
Okay.
And then we did 2 more songs we just released this last week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then maybe yeah, I cannot watch this now. You can play this now if you got this. You can play this or
Should I do it on, how do I do it? Let's see.
you can share the tone.
Ah, okay. So let's see.
You can share the tone from your desktop.
Ah,
Share the desktop. Share the
share desktop.
tone.
Share reaction.
Only the tone. There's this advance, and then there's only the tone.
Okay, security participants chat. Share screen.
No, only tone. You must go to advance and then only tone.
Okay, advance. Where is it?
You are on a phone or on a PC?
No, I'm on my Mac. I'm on my Mac.
Okay,
so-
then I got a PC. This is a little bit different, but you must go to share your desktop there, and then yeah. I cannot guide you there more, but share your desktop because Mac and PC is a different kind of option.
Okay, yeah. So it will actually take me out of, but what I can do is I can maybe minimize it, right? So we can actually go into.
You can share the tone or can share the
Yes, I'm gonna do that right now with iTunes. Okay. Okay, so
now you can share now. I blocked this.
yes.
Now.
Okay. So what do you want to hear first?
It's up to you. It's up to you. You can play.
Okay, I'm gonna do My Revolution first.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Loud,
Okay.
loud and clear. It's okay. Yeah, the sound. The sound is not really clear, but it's okay. It's a rock, electric rock. Yeah, it's nice. He made everything by himself. He made everything by himself. Is this everything self composed?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it was nice. Had he everything composed by himself?
No, it was Barry and Derek Smith.
Okay.
And yes, on that song.
Okay.
So I'm actually on I Love You on the EP that I sent you.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes. But we're all part of the crew, and I've created the graphics, and me, Barry, and Derek and Kinji, we've all come together, to do it. And it was really amazing doing it during COVID,
Yeah.
because we had to create the music and then send it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And then they do their own versions on it and bring it together and so forth like that. So, we didn't let what's going on with the scamdemic get in the way of what he needed to do, which is amazing.
Yeah. No, this is also when people's not focusing on the bad thing that happen. What happens worldwide, you focus on such a things, on good things, and that is
Yeah,
good.
and the amazing thing about the bridge on that too is like his father sang that song way back in the 70s on a song that his
Ah.
father did, right? So, his father used to tell him, all you need is love, man. All you need is love. And Barry's like, oh no, man, I'm like a rebel. Like one of these days you'll meet him, and on the show with Derek and stuff. And now he's like, I was wrong. So when he did that bridge, it was like, okay, I understand now after life has taken him through all these things, right?
Yeah.
So it's really amazing watching it and being a part of it, and just being able to grow and really speak your truth. It's about a love revolution, and that's why we did it that way.
Nice.
Because love conquers all. Love is everything. You
Yes.
know,
Yes. And most times, often I think so. That is right, but sometimes no love will help. Sometimes,
right.
yeah,
Well, it depends on the situation for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But to the most part, having love and compassion for self and others is the way to go.
yeah,
So, when we look at today's world and we see no love, we see what's needed is a love revolution. And that's, why we came up with that.
yeah. Really nice. Yeah. Then, sister, yeah, we will see us maybe again, and then you can come up with some new music, or I don't know. Is there any kind of plans? Album, EP?
Yeah, I'm actually I wrote a not me, but someone wrote a screenplay of my book, right? And
Okay.
and movie. And so we've actually gotten a pretty amazing director to do that. So I'm actually working on an album right now going towards that movie, right, to release about the story of my life.
Wow.
So, I know that all things were pertinent and needed for this. So I've been working on a few things also for that. So Barry and Derek are going to be helping me with that too.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, Derek does our guitars and he's amazing. His vocals, amazing. He's a brilliant talent also. And him and Barry have been friends for years and years and years, making music. So it was really amazing being able to work with him also because he's just a fluid talent and his lyric writing is amazing also.
Yeah, maybe you can connect them both also with me, and I can talk to them.
Yeah, absolutely. We could definitely do that and come on together,
Yeah,
and get a time that we can do that. So,
yeah. I love
you
to
know,
do this. That would
yeah,
be
it
nice.
would probably be good on like Saturday. I know that we had things to do this today, but we'll definitely take the time and do that. So it's
Okay.
good to know we can come meet you on the weekend. I
Yeah.
mean, on the daytime because that works better for both of us to be
Yeah.
able to come on and do that. So
Yeah, I'm really flexible. I'm the most time you can call, and then I'm close there, really close.
okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. And I just know now how to play the music. So that's amazing,
yeah, yeah. Yes, sister, Melinda. Today again we talking, and yeah, I hope we can meet with your friends, there with your musician friends, and then we can have a greater Zoom meeting with 4 people. I don't know, or 5.
Yeah, absolutely. If you had a link, we can just do that, no problem.
Yeah, we are linked over the messenger. I can send you all the time Zoom link like I did before.
Okay, well, let me set it up. I know this weekend is probably bad just for Derek. He's dealing with some
Yeah, yeah.
family.
No, it's all good.
So, but let's do later this week because I'm flexible.
Yeah.
And I know that Barry is really excited, and so is Derek. So, we'll definitely do it. And Kenji's also part of doing the backup vocals also, and he's amazing too. So,
Okay. Yeah, then let me know. I'm there. It's no problem for me. Let me know, and will be there.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Okay.
so amazing. Well, thank you for your time. Thank
Oh,
you.
no
It's such an
problem.
honor.
No problem.
It's always an incredible time,
Oh, no problem.
to be able to come on and share with Berlin and Germany, our fans, because even with the CVO and so forth, it's like so important because, it's a different genre of music,
Yeah.
right? But, he's speaking his truth now because he's been able to come out of the shell and be able to start dealing with what's really happening, and you can see it transform in his music, right?
Yeah.
And really speak that truth, and then you can see Barry, his dad did love music. Like I remember I didn't even know I was listening to Smokey way back in the day. I didn't know that was Smokey, right? And Motown. I had no idea who they were. I just heard I like that beat, right? But later, dating Barry and going through all this, I started learning some things, and I learned that, like, wow, Smokey, they used to only play his music at a certain time because it was like lovemaking music, right?
Okay.
And they didn't want to get sex out there. So that was way back in the day because they were still Puritan, or so-called Puritan back then. And so now it's totally different, right? That it's
Yeah. Everywhere sex sales. Yeah, I gotcha.
yeah, but to see Barry come out with his genre and stay true to it, like, some people are like, oh, why don't you do a little bit like this? He's like, no, I have to do it like this. This is what rings to me,
Yeah.
and I hear him say that, and it's taught me a lot about staying true to myself too. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because he comes from a really big music family, a very
Yeah.
powerful music family in
That
Hollywood, right?
that sounds so interesting. That's why we must see us all together. You arranging that, Melinda, and then I
Yes,
will
I
be
will.
there.
Yeah, they're a
And we
beautiful
all,
family.
yeah, really
Yes.
nice. Yeah,
So awesome.
then, sister, we have a good time together, and we hear us soon. Write on me on my messenger. I will send you also the link to the to DJ Sanabel from Berlin, Germany, the electric,
Awesome.
and then you can connect with her. And yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing because if we can get DJs from around the world to start connecting and do the right frequencies to eliminate, because there's so many ways we can beat the elite
And,
that
and, and,
people don't realize.
and especially also a woman.
Yes, you know what? That's amazing. I'm not a feminist, but women do have an incredible part in this world. And every great thing comes from a woman,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, everything comes, maybe. I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Or what was before, the egg or the chicken?
Well, I would have to say an egg. You know why? Because everything comes from a beginning and grows into, right? And the egg is the
Yeah. Really, really clever.
right? For the mitochondria, right?
Yeah.
The mitochondria is the original cell of life, right? And that's where life starts and stems.
Okay.
So, a chicken didn't come from a chicken came from an egg, so it'd have to be the egg.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I think so also.
Well, now that we've solved that, that's like we can move on with the world,
Yes. Okay, Melinda. Then
I will be in touch with you.
connect with your friends there, and then I would be waiting for you to come up for another.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
I will actually touch base with them right after we get off and see when they're ready, because if they're able to go on Zoom right away, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Everybody can go from home, no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, cool beans.
Okay, then, sister. Then have a good time. I'm out for today. We talk with Heron.
Yes.
Peace.
Yes.
Peace out
Peace.
to California. Peace.
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 Check, check. Check, check. Check, check.